Complications from abortions are rare.
Very briefly. Complications from abortion it is already mandatory for complications from abortions to be reported. If that is exceptional, it is not made more exceptional by this bill. The question is, from which data source does one draw the reporting of that abortion, those complications? But they are reported and they are published every year by the department. This is not putting a new requirement on abortion reporting.
My Lords, as I say, I'm very much in favour of ensuring that information is fully available. What I am concerned about is having a primary legislation singling out one medical procedure which would actually potentially promote kind of fear and concern around women and make them feel as though they're not able to make their own choices around healthcare. And as I say, it should be regulated like any other medical procedure, and by treating it differently, it could be that we do add this stigma. And I do think it's important to consider this in the wider context of the current politicisation of the abortion debate around the world. My Lords, we've heard about the difficulties of collating this data and collecting this data, and so the current reporting systems are far from perfect. We've also got to ensure that we are careful about when we link reports, because it's not always desirable. Many women, especially those facing domestic violence or reproductive coercion, may not want their procedure recorded, and confidentiality is crucial for safety. A lack of privacy could deter women from seeking care, putting them at greater risks. And for that reason, I cannot support the bill as it stands. I do agree that improving data collection within women's healthcare is essential, and that can be achieved in ways that respect privacy whilst improving care. The NHS's 10-year plan and the Women's Health Strategy update offer a good opportunity to address these challenges effectively without adding unnecessary legal burdens on the healthcare system. As we look to enhance women's healthcare, we must proceed carefully and sensitively, balancing data collection with privacy and choice for women.
Possibly make it well-founded in the moral judgments that we bring to it, but also well-founded in having the best possible information and analysis around it at a technical level. And I think that's what this bill would help to provide, and that's why I support it.
My Lords, in rising to follow the noble Lord Frost, I do have to stress how important the Green Party and many other people regard protecting those who are receiving healthcare from harassment and abuse, and that's something that the law has increasingly stepped up to do, and that's terribly important. I rise to oppose this bill, and I must begin by commending the speech of the noble Lady Baroness Barker, who I think gave us an important sets of context here. And this is a very long-term issue of a global but US-based and exceptionally well-funded campaign against human rights. Back in 2014, I wrote a chapter in a book titled Women Against Fundamentalism, Stories of Dissent and Solidarity, that indeed told the story of what happened in the past 10 years leading up to where we are today. I'm also going to focus a little bit on context, because I think it is really important to note that last year YouGov looked at attitudes towards abortion, and 87% of Britons said abortion should be allowed, only 6% said that it shouldn't. It's interesting that 1 in 10 Britons think that the law makes it too difficult to get an abortion in the UK. But when you look at, for those for whom this is most relevant, women under the age of 40, that figure rises to 19%. And those are the people who are most likely to have encountered the detail of the law and to have discovered, as many are surprised to discover, that the abortion is covered by criminal law still in the UK. And I do think it's important to highlight that, because one of the issues as we're talking about abortion, we have to focus on the way in which we've seen a rise in the investigation and prosecution of what might be illegal abortions. Coming up in the 18 months to February, there were we're at risk of convicting as many women as have been convicted for that offence in the previous 55 years. 6 women were prosecuted over suspected abortion cases, although 3 of those cases were subsequently dropped. The women, of course, having been through very considerable turmoil in the meantime. Now, I note that the President of the Royal College of Obstetrician and Gynecologists has noted how outdated abortion law is really creating problems. So that's the context. I think we've already covered quite a bit of the ground here, that it's obvious that creating a law about one set of medical statistics is exceptionalising it, as BPAS says. And I think if we look at it's very clear that 2023, there is 3 years of work went into a report then that said these statistics are inadequate. They need to be improved. The work is being done. We don't need to pass a special law on one set of statistics. We are making progress on this, and more progress certainly is needed.